My name is Isabel Gott, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. So I work with What Youth Can Do, which is a student-led organization that works for fighting for student rights. Right now, we're working on different bills with the teachers of OPS, of Millard Public Schools, of Ralston Schools. We're just trying to work with a lot of districts in Nebraska on getting different COVID precautions and just helping students and teachers who are in a bad place right now due to COVID and everything, and just really bringing awareness to different issues, like maybe not having internet access, maybe have like crowded hallways, just things that are concerning to some people, especially with the rise of cases. And then we're also working, eventually, I think in December, we're going to be meeting with the OPS board, like school board, and talking about different, our 5 demands. Those are basically what we're working on right now. But in the community, I definitely work in that sort of realm with the school boards and stuff and helping fight for student rights, as well as I actively participate in different protests, especially considering like right now the Kenneth Jones protests against the police brutality and all of that. It's just super important to me, and it's super important so that we like stand up for what we believe is right and at least try to help advocate against police brutality. So What Youth Can Do held a protest this summer, and they sent out little cards and stuff, and I followed their Instagram. And I enjoyed going to the protest, and it was very informative. And they had a sign for like, hey, we need more people, or we wanted to recruit people. And I was like, these protests are good, but they're not I'm not doing much like precisely in the community, and so I wanted to get more involved. And so I applied, and they emailed me back, and they're like, thank you for applying, like please come talk to us, please be encouraged to come to our first meeting. And that's how I got started, and it was basically just through like Instagram and forums. Okay. Well, white supremacy is basically the system that is ingrained into the United States right now. Since the founding fathers, it has always been white cisgendered men above all. White supremacy is basically preferring white cisgendered men over everything else, and having a system that promotes their accessibility, their wealth, their being, as opposed to others. Especially people who are of color, people who are women, people who are disabled, people who are just in those subcategories of minorities. They are often overlooked and not given the benefits properly needed. And so even though our Constitution says all men are equal, obviously we are not. It's basically just the money and how it's kind of against the poor and for the rich. I have a lot to say on that because I've definitely been very involved in that in the past few days even. Honestly, there's so much money that goes to the military, there's so much money that goes to policing that can be arranged somewhere else. Like there are so many different things that need to be considered. I think police brutality is a big issue in the United States. If you look at different countries, it is not a big issue everywhere else because we live in a capitalist society. We live in this society where like money goes all to military funding, and even though it's in our own country, like it's still coming against us, and it's off of racial bias off most of the time. There's just so many different things, especially in the Omaha police community. Omaha Police Department definitely has racist like backgrounds and stuff. They definitely have. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen them be prioritizing other people's lives over the others. I was at a protest yesterday. The people who were supporting the OPD were they were like escorted to the front, and they were like literally like walked away, versus whenever someone touched it, they threatened to hit us. They shot pepper balls at us. The OPD is inherently racist and is not helping with our community right now, and they need to be held accountable. They need to release footage. They need to be doing these actively using these steps to do something about this issue in the community, because they are inherently hurting people of color in this community. And it is a majority, there's a lot of people of color in Omaha, and it is hurting so many people. We need to be heard. Something needs to happen. The issues with Kenneth Jones is something that I've been actively a part of. It's the way it happened right next to my house. I literally live like maybe a mile away from where it happened. That this is my community. It is in South Omaha. These are like my people. This is happening to people that I would know. You know, like it's literally so scary to see all these things happening, and it's like this doesn't even feel real, but you see it in front of your own eyes and you think this feels like a movie. This feels like I'm literally watching like an old Holocaust movie or something. Like it's scary and it's upsetting, and it's nothing. There's nothing we can do. It's just that nobody's listening to us, and we need to be heard. Someone needs to talk, or someone needs to listen is what is happening. In the school systems, school books are written by the white man. The school system is like made up by the white man. There are different, like, even if you look in the books, there's still American Indian written in on the books. There's not any Black history written, especially of Omaha. There's not Black history written. You learn about Martin Luther King, you learn about Rosa Parks, you learn about Malcolm X, and then you're done. There is so much more to Black history than the start of slavery. There's to be changed. That is something that is important to us in what youth can do. That is something important in this community, because there are so many people of color that are worth it, and they are worthy of these things, and they're not getting what they deserve. You know, like it's super upsetting, and it's something that needs to be changed, especially with the amount of people of color in Omaha. It's upsetting that it has taken this long for someone to speak up and do something, and so we are the ones who are going to do that. We are the ones who are going to change. So mental health needs to be diversified, first of all. You see that there's like counselors in school. At least at my school, I go to one of the biggest high schools, and the majority of the counselors are not people of color. They are not people who you might be comfortable talking with. Maybe there's someone who doesn't speak Spanish. There's like different language barriers. Maybe there's just someone who's accessible to talk about. Not only that, they have so many students that they're not able to talk about mental health issues. It's not their priority. Their priority is college and scholarships, which is good, but we need to have some sort of mental health access for these people. Like it's an issue that people are not taking aware of, and like especially right now during times of online schooling, it has been hard for everybody. It's been hard for everybody around, and administration, the district, they are not recognizing these levels. They're not doing anything to help, and so it is important to implement these sort of things into the school, because people need these breaks. People need this help for mental health. You know.